And we are live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where today I am here to give you my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen this video, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me is my co-host. She and they're blending in the background.
I'm here. Hello. Sorry. I'm cooking,
That-
y'all, but I am here.
yeah, she, gotta do her wifely duties. We ain't mad at her, but we love her for anyway. But yes, we have Married to Medicine here. Y'all, we got to talk about this episode. It was way too much, y'all. Way too much. We're only getting a two-part reunion with Married to Medicine. Usually they do three. I don't know why we have two, but I'm not arguing. It is what it is because this reunion definitely felt rushed. So I just want to let you guys know while you're also subscribing to me, please subscribe to Mrs. Best as well. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we cover on her channel. We just got done doing 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. If y'all are not watching that show, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but that is on TLC. Y'all need to watch it. It is amazing. The foolishness, the ratchetness, the ignorance. It is all what you need and more. So if you guys love that show and they want to hear our opinions on it too, you'll definitely subscribe to Mrs. Best. So every week you watch it, you can come back and see what we thought. We're probably aligned in opinions, but you know what? Watch to find out and subscribe while you at it. So let's talk about these Married to Medicine ladies. So before we begin, the ladies are all arriving. And we noticed that Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie, yet another reunion. The last time they had this sort of tiff, I believe it was season 10. No, it wasn't. It was season 7. Whatever year that Buffy was there, they did not share a dressing room at that time. So this is another time where they didn't share a dressing room, and Andy is surprised. Andy was like, "Why aren't we sharing a dressing room?" And what it boils down to is Dr. Jackie being on Watch What Happens Live. So when Dr. Jackie was on Watch What Happens Live, it was the episode where Heavenly was saying that Simone was unhinged and that she was aggressive and that she pushed her. So Andy asked Dr. Jackie, now seeing the footage, do you believe that Simone pushed her? And Jackie said, I don't want to be in the middle of those two. I don't want to be in it. I didn't see what happened, so I don't want to be in the middle. And Dr. Jackie also said that, now seeing the footage, maybe they both misinterpreted what the other did. So Dr. Jackie didn't want to be on either side. She just wanted to be neutral. So Simone took that as, okay, well, you're defending Heavenly. And since you're defending Heavenly, I see you still defending the devil. Something she has said on social media. Now, everybody is like, you have to be on the side of right. You have to say what's right and what's wrong. And Jackie is wrong. I'm going to let y'all know this. Now, I am somebody who does not like to be in the middle of two friends bickering, which is why I don't intermingle my friends. I've known that since from a very young age. I've always had friends in different places because it is not always great to intermingle them. This is why. When it comes to them falling out, they want you to choose a side. One person wants you over here, the other person wants you over there. So for me, I did not blame Jackie for being neutral. I did not blame her at all because I wouldn't want to be in there, especially if I valued both people. I don't want to be in the middle. And then also, if they were mature adults, neither one of them would put her in the middle. They would respect her opinion and then let it go and have the beef between themselves. But that's not what's happening here. So the ladies, after it's all been said, Andy is hoping that they can all get on one accord. And that's a lot of ambition, Andy. I must give it to you. Shani's here. Hey, Shani, thank you for being here. We appreciate you so much. JB in the house. I got to reach out to you. I keep forgetting to reach out to you, but I got to reach out to you about my birthday plans. Hey there, my guy. Mimi got a big forehead. I mean, yeah. I'm surprised everyone is just now seeing that. This wig doesn't help her. It's a nicely applied wig. I will say that. I didn't see no lace or anything, but it does not do her any favors. I don't know why she commits to this bob for the reunions. I don't know why she does this, but I need her to cut that shit out. Mega Mind Mimi. Yeah. And I'm going to let y'all know this now. Mimi is now on my shit list now. She kind of was already leaning towards it because I didn't know to make heads or tails of Mimi, but I don't like Mimi right now. I don't. So I'm gonna be honest with you. You can be neutral. I fell out with one of my best friends years ago. My main best friend, she was neutral with both of us. Yeah, and I feel like I don't understand why they won't just let Jackie. Don't Jackie's a woman of few words. I don't understand why they just won't let her be neutral. Like I don't understand why that's such a big issue. I wish they would have showed us all of the ladies walking out so we could see their dresses. Yeah, okay. So since you brought that up, Shani, let's talk about that. So let's talk about everybody's dresses. Now that we've seen them in person. Now remember, my best dress was Jackie, and then my worst dress was Simone and Mimi. Mrs. Best, I believe her best dress was also Jackie, and then her worst dress was Brandy, if I'm remembering the live. Mrs. Best, if you're still here, let me know if that's correct. I don't remember who your worst dress. I know your best dress was Jackie, but I don't know who your worst dress was.
No, you got it right. I haven't left. I'm almost done. I'm just making broccoli.
Oh no, you're good. I just wanted to make sure I got it right. So I'm gonna keep my best dress as Jackie. Um, Nobody's look was really hitting for me. I was like, no. I will say Contessa looked better live than she did in the picture. So I will give her that because she said that on social media that Bravo was tripping. So I'm gonna give Contessa that. Um, and my worst dress, I'm gonna give it to Mimi just because I didn't know what she had on. I just was so confused. Oh, that's a good point. Because I also thought about that too, JB. I think this is Get Back for Buffy. I do. I think this is Get Back for Buffy. I think that's why she stayed quiet. But I wish Jackie would own that. I wish Jackie would own that this is Get Back for the Buffy situation. So, for those of y'all who do not remember, when Jackie had let out the bag that Buffy was infertile, allegedly Buffy had went to the board to try to report Jackie. And Simone, I guess, had firsthand knowledge of it and didn't try to either stop the situation or control the situation, but also didn't say anything either until it got revealed. And supposedly she had known the whole time. I think that that's how the story was. And I'm saying allegedly because I don't know how the story came about, but I just know that Buffy wanted to do that. I think Simone either co-signed it or had firsthand knowledge of it, allegedly. So I think that hurt Jackie to her core and she never let that go. So when Heavenly did it, it was kind of like, yeah, get back. And I don't know how I feel about that, y'all. I don't know. I'm still processing it. Let me see what y'all saying in the comments. I agree, JB. I feel like a mutual friend of mine and James, we had no issues. Simone is a child with a Jackie is very passive aggressive. She is very much so. So we're gonna start the reunion, y'all. We're gonna start the reunion. So the reunion starts off, with Toya. There was a viewer that asked Toya, "Is she still in her home?" And Toya says, "Why wouldn't she be?" And Annie said, "Well, to be fair, you do move often." She goes, "Yeah, I do move often, but I've owned all of those homes." And I looked at Toya and said, "Toya, now here we go. You were so quick to call Heavenly a liar this reunion. You just lied just now. No, your reunion barely started. You did not own all of those homes you was living in. You just said when you moved into this one, you ain't no longer written anymore. So come on, Toya, stop that bullshit and stop that lying. See, there you go lying. But see, everybody was like, oh no, Heavenly be lying. Heavenly be starting shit.
Everybody has disdain toward Heavenly for lying, and they're so focused on Heavenly that they ignore the lies that Toya tells. Toya never even addressed the fact that the first home she built with the 2-story closet, she owed money on, and that's part of why she had to leave. But she never wanted to talk about that, but want to talk about everybody else as a liar, and then come on here talking about she done owned all her homes. No, Eugene has, bitch. You don't work for nothing.
So Andy asked Simone, because Simone has said that Toya's party was a resignate of her actual life, taking the day off from work, that she doesn't work. And, Simone says she stands exactly in what she said. And she said the thing about Toya is that Toya keeps up a great life. She has a beautiful, she's always had a beautiful home. It's clean, it's refreshed, and nobody has to tell her to go and pressure wash her house. And I said, oh, I said, okay, Simone, whatever Heavenly give you at this point, the gloves is off. I hope you're ready to take whatever it is.
What's funny with Simone is you want to use a line about the lady who's the creator of the show, and says that you are the problem on the show. Mariah has done interview after interview saying that Simone is the problem on the show. Simone is jealous. Simone causes most of the beef. Simone is shady. And now you want to use her to quote her to come at Heavenly. It didn't give what it gave. I know a lot of people were like, "Ooh, Simone ate her up," but all I could think about is like the person who ate you up and reminded us that you was the devil on the show for real, is the person whose line you took, which is very, very strange, Simone. So I found it to be odd.
It was odd. It was like, well, why are you even okay, Simone? Whatever, as I said, whatever Heavenly give you at this point, I don't want to hear it, Simone. Because you started with her first, you and Toya. Because then the question says, for Toya, because I guess people were, talking about that party. I don't remember if it was at this point or the next point, but I'm just gonna throw it in this point because I think it's all pertinent. People were saying that her treatment of Eugene, and she said that everybody goes through a whole lot in their relationships. Everybody argues from time to time. Everybody has little tiffs. And the thing about it is, my husband loved me. My husband don't be lying to me about where my whereabouts of my child is, taking the dig at Heavenly. And I said, okay, Toya, you over there taking a dig at Heavenly. Now, whatever Heavenly give you, y'all, I'm telling you, Heavenly was very quiet this reunion. She wasn't as activated as she usually is. And that's because, one, she's running for office. And then two, she's a friend of. So, we all laugh at that clip. We all laugh at that clip. And I have it
That's
on
why we
Peacock.
miss Mariah on the show, because Mariah would just unapologetically cut somebody out all funny and say some shit that nobody would expect. And then they would discuss it and move on. Now, every time somebody says or does something crazy like Mariah would have done, they got to have a whole holy meet and get together and discussion. It's too deep.
Mhm. She's right, but girl, you do be on your ish on camera every season. If you're talking about Toya, absolutely she is. People don't treat their husbands as badly as Toya treats Eugene on TV. You better clock it, Lexi Lean. You better clock it, because that is true. Like, to me, her talk down to Eugene is really what the issue is for me. I just feel like, okay, this is a man who gets his ass up, works 2 emergency room shifts, which, y'all, they work between 12 to 14 shifts a month. So he's doing double the work just so y'all can live in them houses y'all be living in. And you got the nerve to talk to him like you be doing? Oh, Toya. Oh, Toya. Yeah. But we then move on to Mimi's segment. And with Mimi's segment, a lot has been distinguished with her interactions with the group. We know that she had a riff with Brandy. We know that she had a riff with Toya. And she said that, her and Toya never really had a start. When she was coming around Toya, the only example that she really had was the, placement of being in her home and her yelling at her husband. And she does, she can't help but psychoanalyze people, but she's saying that, she saw chaos and that's what it was. And she said the whole situation with Brandy and Toya was interrupting her the entire time. And Andy even had to tell Toya, let her finish. Toya's like, okay, I'm gonna let her finish. And Brandy, not Brandy, Mimi was like, well, the issue with Toya was I really didn't know her. And I, was trying to get to a place. And Toya said, you see right there, she really didn't know me. So the thing about it is she doesn't know me, but she's willing to pass all this judgment on me, saying that I'm in chaos and saying all these different things and telling Brandy not to associate with me and all of this. And I felt like, to me, because this reunion was so rushed, I find it hard to believe, y'all, that this was the best that Mimi could have came up with, her being a psychiatrist. I feel like this was very hard to believe, because to me, she had way more examples of Toya being in chaos, as she likes to use, than just that one example with Brandy. Now, with Brandy, she did apologize to Brandy. She did, say, that her delivery was wrong. And then we also get into, a viewer question about her son. And I, once again, thought it was incredibly brave for Mimi to show that part of her life. They are on a show called Married to Medicine. So I thought it was great that she did share that element of her life with us. She said that it is hard, doing this, but she said that she can handle it and that she loves everything about, being a mother. And her and Toya were able to connect that way. So I'm hoping that with Mimi and Toya, that maybe if they do both come back next season, that they, form some sort of relationship and bond. Mrs. Best, how
Well,
did you feel Mimi
why
segment?
why are you hoping that?
Just because here's the thing. I want everybody to get along. I want everyone to be happy,
And you
but
don't have a show.
I feel like we have other people.
I wouldn't forgive Toya for nothing. I know a lot of people feel like Mimi got it, Toya, but somebody had to do it. Mimi's doing the job that nobody else on this cast will do. Toya gets away with absolute hell on this show. She acts an absolute fool. She's always starting shit with people and then hiding her hand. Toya to me is just heavenly in a smaller version. Honestly, they're one and the same. They just do things differently. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Mimi and Toya feel a way about each other that they won't be able to get past. I feel like it could make for a good rivalry, but I just don't feel like they're going to be close ever. I feel like
No.
Toya's intimidated, no shade. I feel like just like the audience and most of America, people are intimidated by the fact that Mimi is a psychiatrist because some of the way they would act towards Dr. G, they act towards her. And I could see why people will think that she's like psychoanalyzing her friends and stuff, but she's a psychiatrist. She's trained to think differently. She's trained to look at things from a different type of a space. And I could see why she would struggle with that sometimes with the group. But I feel like a lot of the group, the stuff that Mimi is saying about them is true. It's just the moments that Mimi are saying it doesn't make sense. If that makes sense, kind of like her going so hard at Toya and them at Heavenly's little event in the parking lot for her politics earlier in the season. Like she just has to calm down with her delivery because she's not wrong at all in her assessment of any of the women.
No, she's not at all. And I think that that's why, she's very much needed for the show because a lot of people get away with inappropriate behavior. And if you're not putting a name to it, then it's just going to continue to happen. So her doing it is actually bringing an awareness and giving people a different point of view professionally. So that's why I like
Toya
Mimi.
is cringy. She does do too much. She moves and seems to thrive on chaos. So I mean, people are mad at Mimi for saying the truth. She said everything we've been saying for years. Her
That's what
forehead
I'm
do look
saying.
hella big though in this picture. My God, I can't unsee it. That's JB fault. JB did this to me because now all I see is Megamind.
I'm trying
Damn,
to tell you, just widescreen, just yes.
Caroline is
Um,
looking behind her in that
Well,
bob.
that,
I
that's a
can't.
that's a wig too. I don't understand why she don't do what Quad be doing because her and Quad got the same forehead. So I don't
Quad with
understand.
that obnoxious flip that she had in her hair. Mm-mm.
That was terrible, Quad. Don't do that no more. Please don't do that no more. I was about to say Heavenly and Toya are the same. They are the same person. That's why they don't get along. They are the exact same person. So yeah, it really like mind blows me that they what sign is Toya? Because now I need to know. Because maybe it's their zodiac signs that keep them not getting along. Because realistically, they should be the best of friends on this show. They really should be. Eugene cannot get away with screaming at Toya the way she does him. We would call it abuse. True, absolutely. Hey Keywan, thank you for being here. You guys, please subscribe to Keywan J's channel. Also subscribe to JB Says What. They both recap this show and do amazing work. I love both their channels. I may not comment like I'm supposed to, but I definitely watch y'all. So I love y'all both. These raggedy heifers took zero accountability. They never do. They think it's above them. We finna move on to Contessa in a minute. That forehead was the first thing I saw. Not the forehead was the first thing you saw. So we're gonna move along from Mimi, and we're gonna introduce the newbies. We have Brandy and Angel, their first seasons. A viewer asked Angel because Angel is a full-time nurse. She is an actress. She is a model. She does a lot. She's a mom, single mom at that. So she had a lot going on her day to day. And so a viewer asked her, How do you have time to be an actress? Like, is this real? And Angel lets people know that she was acting before she was a nurse. Like, she did her acting in college to pay for her schooling because she realizes having a plan B and being educated was the primary factor of life. And that is true. We just saw Shamari DeVoe actually get a nursing. I don't know if she became a nurse. I don't know what Shamari DeVoe did, but it's something in medical that she just recently did. You do have to have plan B's, y'all, in life. You know, you can't always rely on entertainment money because it comes and goes and it's very scarce. You don't know if you're going to get a role. Like, I would love to be an actor. I would love to go back to doing acting classes. I'm an author by trade. I would love to turn my stuff in there, but I know that I can't, you know, there's only one Michael B. Jordan. So that's why I'm like, okay, I can't do it like that. And me and him are the same age. So it just can't happen that way. So, you know, we're going to move on. Did it look like Qua was giving Angel the stank face when she came out? I don't think so. No, I don't think so because Angel is Quad's like friend. Like, that's the friend. Like, you know how like Quad has this circle, and then, you know, she may be close with like Heavenly or Contessa or maybe even Jackie on occasions where you'll see them somewhat on there. Angel is all up and down Quad's social media and is one of the girls that go to Ghana with her and Yandy. So no, I don't think that she was giving her stank face. I think they really do be like locked in tight with each other and is actually friends. Like, you know, she part of Angel's part of that clique in Atlanta, you know, with Moneta and Candy and all them. Angel's part of that clique too. So yeah, I don't think she was. I really don't. But that's just my opinion. She might have. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. We're gonna move on to Contessa and Brandy. So we addressed their little, you know, tiff that they had at Brandy's birthday. Now, Brandy said that she didn't hear Contessa when Contessa was talking all that mess up under her breath, saying, you know, because y'all know Contessa, she was all like, do we have to pray to God or do we have to pray to your husband for buying us the food and stuff? You know, Contessa was just hating. And Contessa told Angel, she goes, no, I came in there soft and, you know, I came in there, you know, with love and purity. And it was y'all really that was bringing it all up. And she goes, and Brandy was like, no, I didn't bring up nothing. She goes, oh, yes, you did. You and Heavenly. You and Heavenly did it. And Heavenly said, yeah, we did have a conversation. We did. So I'm going to let y'all know this right now. That was Contessa trying to mind fuck Brandy and it didn't work. Brandy, I applaud you because Contessa does this shit all the fucking time. And I get sick of her when she does this. She likes to twist the words, mind fuck the situation, make it seem like that's not what she was doing, even though we can see with our eyes and hear she on camera. You can't hide every fucking thing. But what we did see was Contessa was sitting over there hating, and Heavenly was co-signing it with that cackle. And Brandy, I don't know why you didn't hear it because she did say it loud. That's one thing I will agree with Contessa. She did say it loud enough where you could have heard that shit if you wanted to. I just think you were new and you didn't want to have that combativeness with her firsthand until you got deep into the season. Because I get it. You're on a reality TV show. You don't know what to take as clear and what to take as shade. But it was obvious you heard what she said. And it was obvious that, because come on, Brandy, I'm not playing these games with you. But Contessa was all like, no, I just came soft. And I just really want you to know that it's all in love. You know, I love you. I celebrate you. This is the day that God gave you to us. So we need you in this world. And I'm just looking at Contessa like, girl, if you don't go somewhere. And then had the nerve to say, well, on that day that they were filming, it was Contessa's actual birthday. So it was like, here we go. Y'all, I'm so sick of Contessa. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Contessa and Brandy addressing their issues?
Brandy gives Angel Massey doing her interviews in Potomac. Like, oh, now you want to talk? Because the whole season, I have zero respect for Brandy. She gives me a follower. I don't know why. I just feel like Brandy, like you said, because she was new, was kind of just trying to align with who she could align with. You should have checked Contessa when you had the opportunity. Don't come to the reunion looking dumb as hell, one with your outfit and your fucked up makeup, and then think that you can come and suddenly check somebody on something you should have checked them for a long time ago. Now, Contessa did have her messed up, and Contessa she wants a husband that would give her even a birthday breakfast. Okay, she just wants a husband that will think of her. But honestly, at the same time, I feel like Brandy is just excited to have a problem with someone and is very excited to be on this show. I don't know why. I get that energy from Brandy, but it was also funny to see two Geminis going back and forth, two June Geminis going back and forth with each other, because the reality of the situation is both Brandy and Contessa, in my opinion, are shady. They both shady. They are both shady. And Brandy, she pissed me off this reunion, not just with how she looks, but just like some of the comments she made, like little things that I peeped. I feel like she's one of those people who always needs to be the center of attention. Just based on some comments she made. I will get to some of them later. Like part of when they were talking about Mimi's son, and Brandy made that comment, oh, I need to not complain about my 4. I'm like,
oh, yes.
You got 4 kids doesn't mean you always need to complain. There's lots of people that have 4 kids. It just seems like she always wants to look busy, talk so greatly about her family and stuff. It just seems like she's always trying to flaunt or be the busiest or most involved. So I don't care for Brandy for that. I also don't care for her argument with Contessa, just because, girl, why did you wait so long? She did. And I felt like that was rude, because I don't give a fuck if you got 6 kids, bitch. The equivalent of one neurodivergent child that is moderately struggling is probably that of 6 kids or more, depending on how bad it is. So it's like, be quiet. Stop always trying to steal a moment from someone. Brandy just made faces and did the most. But with her beef with Contessa, it's like, if you just said y'all are cool and that you had a talk with Contessa off stage, then why did you come on stage with this nasty energy? And being a Gemini, I don't blame Contessa for matching her energy on the stage and being rude and then trying to dismiss her. I can't blame her, but I don't like Contessa. I don't like Brandy. So to me, it was like a wash.
It was a wash. It was a wash because one, Contessa was trying to mind fuck the game, but as you said, that's another Gemini. You can't always pull that shit, Contessa. You just cannot always do that. That shit works with Heavenly. It does, because Heavenly gets confused and gets flustered, and then you prove your point. That does not work with Brandy because she's you. Y'all birthdays can't be but 2 or 3 days apart. So come on.
They're both intelligent. They're both highly intelligent. But I don't know. I want to see if Brandy comes back next season. I want to see her have more of a season, because I didn't like her talking about how damn busy she was, but then we never really got to see anything. And I want her to come with her own mind, because the first half of the season, I felt like Brandy was trying to kiss the ass of like Mimi and them. And then halfway through the season, she ended up switching teams to Toya and Simone. I never felt like I got Brandy's personal opinion on anything throughout this season. I felt like her opinions were wishy-washy, up and down, and changed based on whoever she was cool with at that time. But, you know, I digress.
That's what Scott does to Contessa. I don't know if he does it to her more than she does it to him. Because to me, Contessa does that very big, like, June Gemini thing where they try to confuse what you're looking at. Like, they could say, this is red. Now, we can clearly see this is red, but the actual color is burgundy. But because they said it's red, you're wrong, because they said the actual color, but they told you it was red from the get-go. That's how Contessa is. Contessa will tell you something straightforward, but then confuse the situation and make you confuse your own thoughts and then play on it. It's complete manipulation. Now, Scott may do it with them kids out of aggravation towards her, but I don't see Scott doing that exact same thing. I think he did it that one time to get under her skin and play her same thing. I think he knows his wife.
I just want to know with Brandy too, where was that energy you have for Contessa toward Toya? When Toya included you and all that crap and yelling at you at her house and all of that, you commented it on in the confessional, but you never said anything to Toya. So that's why I look at Brandy like, girl, you choose who you want to have energy for. I don't like bitches that move like her. But hopefully next season, she'll actually get her dress altered to fit her properly. She'll get a makeup artist that knows what they're doing so we can see her eyebrows. And she'll understand that just because you have on red does not mean you have to wear a red lipstick. She'll learn. You're muted, my darling.
I just saw the sign. So we're gonna move along to Quad now. So Quad segment comes up, and we're talking about the status of her and King. It has been announced that they were no longer together. They had just probably broken up a little bit before they filmed this reunion, and Quad said that was a real relationship. It was a real everything. This was not no storyline. I don't need to make up no storyline. I was really going through in vitro, paid over six figures to have my sessions and everything, flying to Ghana and all that. So that was a real storyline, because she didn't like the viewers saying that this gave storyline. But she goes, no, I really loved him, and I was in love and everything and all of that. And I really was ready for him, and I was ready to start a family and all this. And Toya and Simone said that, King wanted to be here to tell his side of the story, and they felt like it's unfair that he was not able to be here. And I said, oh, wow. Um, First off, I'm the reason he's here. And I'm the reason why he would not be here. So no, he does not need to give his side of the story. He's doing that. He's telling his side of the story. He was the one that let us know that they were broken up. Quad didn't say anything. So I don't understand why he needs to tell his side of the story. He told his side of the story on social media. Toya, Simone. So yes, I didn't like that they were caping for him. I kind of felt like that was kind of messed up.
It goes against girl code. It goes against girl code. If my homegirl break up with somebody, or even if she's not my homegirl, I think it's weird to be hanging out with the ex-boyfriend of somebody who is a friend, was a friend, or is someone that you're like acquainted with. And Toya loves to use her kids, I notice, as an excuse as to why she's okay with King. And she does this with other people and other things as well. I don't like that. I think that's a trifling thing. Only a trifling trollop would use her son as a reason to talk to the ex of somebody else. And she is petty. She's hella petty. And that's the thing with Toya. When somebody does something like that back to her, which Heavenly has done, then she throws a fit and acts like somebody is coming for her family. But it's like, this is exactly why Quad don't fuck with you, Toya, and why y'all will never be that close like y'all were before. Because every time she tries to be close, tries to say good things. Like, Quad has not talked about Toya. She has not thrown shade at her, not in a confessional, not in the scene with her. She's actually shown that she's done some type of the work to try and keep the peace. And what does Toya do? She goes and hangs out with Quad's ex after being a part of bringing Quad's ex-husband and his new wife on the show because they wanted her out the group. Now she's broken up with another dude, and now you're hanging out with him as well. So y'all just want to hang out with Quad's ex? If I was Quad, I would have checked Toya like, bitch, you need to stop hanging out with my ex niggas just because yours don't have a big dick, as you like to remind us about. No. That's weird. And then she always, oh, he's friends with Eugene. Everybody's friends with Eugene when Toya is kicking it around people that she should not kick it with. Where is the loyalty? Well, that's like if I call up James's exes and start hanging out with them, and one of them I get along with. So that, like, you just don't do certain stuff. You got to pick a line, and you got to choose to be loyal to something or somebody. So Toya and Simone, y'all both some trifling trollops for that. That's the honest to God truth. Because Simone, especially when you mad at Jackie and ended a 30-year friendship with Jackie because she refuses to choose a side because you just as wrong as Heavenly. But you can choose a side when it comes to Quad by hanging out with her exes. Like, these bitches are so fucking... The hypocrisy irks me. I'm going to watch my mouth because someone commented on the video on my channel earlier today, like, Mrs. Best, you curse so much. I'm a work in progress shit. But they pissed me the hell off with that because it's the audacity of it all. Like, if they wasn't doctors, I would want Quad. I'd be like, just take off. Just whack a bitch in the face at this point. Because why? That's the second X.
Right. And then and then Simone gonna ask, oh, well, you don't have to answer my question at all. You could tell me to mind my goddamn business. But why would you make a decision to do in vitro with a man that you don't know what house y'all gonna be living in? You don't know what your future is at state, if y'all gonna get married or be together. Why would y'all make a decision like that to go forward with such a hectic process. And Quad said, regardless if the relationship worked or not, he would be a great co-parent because he has an amazing co-parent relationship with the mother of his daughter. So I felt like even if the relationship did not work, he would be an amazing co-parent. Now there's two things. One, I feel like I wish Simone wouldn't have asked that question, but I'm glad she did. I feel like that question would have been better asked if Heavenly or Jackie asked that question, because I do feel like that is something that I would have asked or wanted to know as well. Um, Two, Quad. If you just want to be a baby mama and just have a baby, you can go ahead and do that without having to go through all of these dramatics and rigmaroles and everything. You could just go ahead and be that. Like, why isn't the operative? I would love to be married, find the love of my life, find the right person, then have a child. Why bring a kid in another broken home? Y'all, we need to stop thinking on the diluted scale that just because you get along with somebody and they would be a great co-parent and you have an example of that with other children does not mean you need to add yourself to the harem of baby mamas. Like, you don't need to do that, Quad. Like, I get it, but damn, I'm not gonna put myself in a predicament where I'm bringing a child in a broken home, in a disassembled community, and not giving them, access to both parents all the time when they need it. Because let's be honest, the more kids someone has, the harder it is for them to get from home to home to home to home, unless all y'all are collectively coming together and giving him exactly what he wants, which, doesn't really exist too often. So I don't know. I just felt like that was crazy of Quad to even say that, but that's her life, not mine. I just could not operate in that same way. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about Quad's answer to the question?
I agree with Lexi Lane's comment. I think Quad's biological clock is on her ass like the black on my skin, and she don't. I think she's rushing to have a baby. I think it's unfortunate because there are a lot of children she can adopt. There are other options that she can go through. If I were her, I'd take out an egg and freeze as many as I could and fertilize them through a surrogate or something. But I'm honestly tired of Quad's baby storyline. I don't know how the rest of you guys feel about it. I'm over this make a baby storyline. I don't want to see not a damn motherfucking person on television working to have a baby unless they marry. I said it. I don't care. Call me judgmental, call me conservative, call me what the fuck you want to call me. I don't care. I don't want to see nobody else spending thousands of dollars to have a baby, especially when they're not married and have been with the person for less than 2 years. You don't know each other after 2-3 years. You may think you do, but you do. I've been with my man 20 years. You do not know people after the second year, after the 5th year. You're learning, but you don't know shit about each other. And to bring a baby into that is, I get it, but it's unfair to the child. I mean, yes, you can love a child with great co-parenting relationships, but it's interesting that Quad says that when years ago she believed in bringing a child into a committed married relationship. Now suddenly she's okay and gave it up all for King. So she probably just running out of time.
Quad been married before, and I feel like Quad don't want to have to be married again to have a baby, and that's completely fine. But you don't need a man to do so. You can just go and have a
She doesn't
baby.
have to be married to have a baby, but if that's the case, like we keep saying, adopt, do surrogacy, do it yourself. Kenya Moore looked into it. That's where we got that read from Phaedra. But hey, she looked into it. It was going to do it. A lot of people are born from sperm donors and other stuff. But don't parade, because I think it's irresponsible to be trying to have a baby with a nigga that you do not know on television. It's not even fully about marriage, but you don't know him.
That is absolutely
If
correct,
you
and that's
can't
that's
even
my point.
commit to taking each other's last names and becoming one legally, then why the fuck would you commit to making a child? Y'all can't even spend $200 for your marriage certificate. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't.
Very good point. Very good point. So yes. So we're gonna go ahead and move on from Quad. We thank Quad for her little 2-second segment. Now we're gonna move on to the men. Now the men are getting there. We have they split the men up in two groups. So in the first group we have Scott, Eugene, and Cecil, and in the next group we had Damon, Steve, and Curtis. They were in the next group. I don't know where Brandy's husband was. I don't know if he's not going to attend. And then Bernard didn't show up for Angel. So he really wasn't on the show much anyway. So it would make sense for him to be there either. But yeah, we don't know where Brandy's husband is. We don't know what's going on with them.
It's given
But
Juan Dixon, but I digress.
but anyway,
I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna shut up. How many reunions did Juan miss? Come on now. If Mauricio, who was running the agency, a global company, can make it to a reunion, as much as Brittany talk about this man, I want to see him. Y'all ain't that busy.
This is the answer right here, because that's what I was thinking in my head. Her husband's probably at home with the kids. Remember, they don't have.
I know they got somebody to watch their kids sometimes, because other than that, I'm concerned about their marriage. If y'all literally have like no time to where he can't show up, I feel like he don't want to be on camera like that.
Yeah,
but it's cool, Brandy.
But like Lexi Lee says, Steve came in hot as I mean, Steve. I mean, that was a hot piece of coal right there. But I tell you, Steve was so damn hot and mad. Steve was ready for Eugene. They all sit in the collective circle, talking. And Steve tells Eugene exactly how he feels. He feels that he was set up, that there was no communication about buying a ticket, and that they used this moment to embarrass him and Mimi. And Eugene said, "No, I didn't do anything. You had communication. You bought a ticket. You told us in Jamaica that y'all were out and that y'all had other organizations y'all could have been a part of. So why the hell will we communicate anything with y'all?" And Steve said, "You see, you're doing that shit again and all this kind of stuff. And we just were there to support the cause. But we didn't have no communication given." And Eugene said, "Once again, y'all were on the outs. Y'all were doing all this. And attitudes and lips started pressing together. And Steve was questioning manhood, talking about, do you want to be a woman? Because that's what you're giving right now. I don't give a fuck about you pressing up your lips and rolling your eyes and shit. I see you. I'm still gonna call you out." And he goes, and Eugene was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like, wait. He goes, "Hey, don't be fucking cussing at me because you don't want me to go there." And he goes, "Where's all this bad behavior from? Like, y'all are like married to a psychiatrist. Where's all this bad behavior?" He goes, "Don't talk to me about bad behavior. You enable bad behavior every time you deal with Toya. So don't be coming at me."
You gotta give
Steve with that point finger. I'm telling you, it was. Oh my God.
In the words of Oh So Best, Eugene, don't be acting like a bitch. Because he was. And this is what I've been waiting for. Eugene keep getting involved in female stuff. Every time his raggedy ass wife does something that gets him in some stuff, he gets involved in the female business or commenting on it. He's the only guy to do it since the first season. You're the only doctor that's not so busy that you have the time to get involved with catty female drama that the other females don't even want with your wife, but they have to have because your wife don't got shit to do because she's sitting at home while you drive 78 hours to work. Like, Eugene needed a man to check him. And that's exactly what a bitch made nigga would do, is roll his eyes and look away. Because Steve said to that man, "You acting like a bitch," talked about his wife, called him out, and waved his finger at him like Eugene's favorite auntie. And Eugene just sat there and made a face. Any other man would have been up and damn near ready to fight. Even Dr. Dre tried to come at King, even though he moonwalked in the sand. We got to give it to Dr. G. Dr. D at least faced him and said what he wanted to say. Be quiet, Eugene, and stop fighting your wife's battles. Because if you say, as he say, his wife's so accomplished and strong, she don't need no help. Sit it out, because him helping Toya might get him knocked down by Steve. What Steve say coming in there? "I used to get chased by 300-pound linebackers. Eugene ain't shit to me." I said, "Oh, Lord."
I'm like, Lord Jesus, not this. And this is what's going through Eugene mind. Like, I can't lose my license. Toya always buying these $3-4 million homes. I got this mortgage to pay for. I can't be going on here fighting this big ass linebacker. That's exactly what's going through.
Eugene could fight worth a damn. I feel like Toya could win in a fight.
Yes. I just feel like Steve, in my opinion, came with playing. Steve was ready. Let me tell you about Steve. Steve was with that pointing that finger. Steve was about it. And let me tell you, because a lot of people were like, well, Steve said he was out in Jamaica. He said he wasn't donating. Y'all are not hearing this conversation right. Steve
Everybody doesn't
said,
understand how charities and this specific organization works. Dr. Jackie confirmed that Steve and Mimi were her guests and that she had covered their ticket. The only
yes,
reason Steve said he was not going to donate is because Toya caused so much trouble within everything that they were like, well, fuck it, we're not gonna donate because what are we donating to? She was taking money, not telling people where it was going, cussing people out in the group chats. She was doing the absolute most. And Steve was not the only one to say that he was not going to pay. Other people were also saying they may not pay.
if they're not saying what it is. And that's my point. Thank you, Mrs. Vest, because you summed it up perfectly. Steve never said he was not going to pay. Mimi is being excluded. Y'all are asking for $2,500 because that's what it was about. Toy didn't have the $150 ticket until 2 days before the event. Thank you to Contessa, who ran her mouth and confirmed it. So yes,
They
y'all.
didn't even sell tickets. The Met Gala looked good, but there were not actual medical personnel there like there were in the prior years. If they were, the donations would be different. They had a bunch of content creators there, which I believe, because that's all that Toy will be up around. But content creators are going to show up. They're going to eat your food. They're going to record content and they're going to leave. They're not always going to donate. Then they also said that all of the people on the stage, the cast, they bought multiple tickets, a lot of the cast, to make up for the donations.
Yep.
So she didn't even sell the tickets like she was supposed to. She put the website up late, gave the address late, put the tickets up for sale late. She did literally everything late and then expected for people who just gave $4,000 to a well-ly put together event last year to give more money. And the audacity of Toya and Eugene to do that when they broke asses ain't gave shit. And the one time that they did give something, it was the wine company that Toya does not own or even have a wine with. She has a discount code because she is a brand ambassador, the same way people post themselves for Fashion Nova in an outfit and then say, link in description for a 20% discount. That's what Toya had with the wine. So the company donated that. Toya has refused to help plan. She has made problems at the Met Gala, started shit at the Met Gala, refused to donate at Met Galas. And now the 1 year that she does it, which they only had her do it because of her disrespect, you try to come at the people who spent $4,000 on an ashtray? Dressed in LV while your husband's sitting there still with his gap tooth, bald-headed looking self? Like, no. I just can't stand these people, the Bushes. I can't.
I can't. Not the Harrises, not the Bush.
No, they are the Bushes. I said what I said. Eugene don't run nothing in that house but the paycheck. That's it.
And this is also my point here. Why is Simone buying 10 tickets when she bought a damn table? That's what we be talking about. See, y'all.
Toya did not plan, and if they didn't do that, they wouldn't have been able to give those little ass scholarships that will do nothing for those women's college groups. They could have got that from their schools just for attending. It's called a persistence grant. Like all schools offer it. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. So Steve was within his right because they did try to embarrass them for a TV moment. And I didn't blame Steve for getting angry because that was bullshit. And like Dr. Jackie said on social media, they were guests of hers at her table because they had to go somewhere. Yes, doctors only gave 2 5K scholarships. That's all.
That doesn't even cover a semester of medical school.
Toya and G did not give any money, so why should people respect them and be easy towards? I'm not being easy towards them. A lot of other people, also like a lot of other content creators, there's several that come to mind. They have said that Mimi and Steve were tripping and making a big ordeal about the ticket purchasing. And I would like to keep people in mind. They said they were out of buying a table for $2,500 because they were not included in the actual idea. Toya didn't want to give them any credit, even if they were to purchase it. That's what people are missing. It has nothing to do with $300. It has everything to do with Toya not including them and her being all secretive about the Met Gala because she wanted to make this moment. So I'm sorry. No, Steve and Mimi were definitely within their right to feel any other kind of way because they were trying to embarrass them for a moment. That was what it is.
I honestly also feel like people need to start coming at Eugene more, because the more people that get at Eugene and ignore Toya, the better that I believe her behavior will get. Because Eugene's not saying anything because nobody ever really has to come to him. This is the first time that somebody has really come to him. And I think if this keeps happening, he gonna tell Toya, I can't deal with this, Toya. I can't be driving 69 miles to work and then also having to deal with people mad at me because of your behavior. So I do feel like those Steve and Mimi, they were super aggressive. And I feel like Steve should have waited till he was out on the stage versus backstage, but somebody has to come at Eugene. He gets away with a lot on the show.
Yeah, he does. But that was the man, y'all. The men are bringing. I can't wait till next week to see how this plays out. So we then go to, this whole Dr. Simone versus Dr. Heavenly, and this comment that Heavenly said that Simone pushed her and that she is unhinged and aggressive. And Simone says she has never had a black woman call her aggressive or say that she's unhinged. And even I was with Dr. Heavenly, like, you haven't? Really? Okay. I
I'd like
mean,
to be the black woman outside of Heavenly that says, Simone, you are unhinged, aggressive, and loud. I would not want you as my OB because I cannot imagine being in labor having you scream at me to push. How you go scream at people, get in people's face? You felt it okay to touch someone in an aggressive manner just because you was mad, hollering at somebody else's event, and you don't think that comes off as aggressive or unhinged is beyond all of us.
I think that's what the problem is, because you highlighted us. I think people want to start in the middle and not at the beginning. At the beginning of this event, Simone and Toya came up to Heavenly, who was minding her damn business and supporting Angel, to tell them, look, we have some notes about how you can do better at your political campaign. A political campaign that neither one of y'all are supporting her in.
Or able to vote for her.
Or able to vote, because y'all don't even live in her district. But y'all want to come with collective notes. So y'all started this teetering effect when it came to Heavenly at first, and then when Simone got into it with Quad, and that got blamed on Heavenly, because Heavenly said that Simone said she would look up that VIN number. But if y'all remember how that conversation started at Quad's house, it was actually Contessa who blurted it out first, and Heavenly just dug the knife in a little bit deeper. But yeah, that's Heavenly's fault too. We're gonna blame Heavenly for that as well. My problem with this whole situation is that, unfortunately, the shoe fits Simone. It does. Now, I don't think she pushed her. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Looking at the footage, I looked at it several times to really understand what I was looking at. I don't think Simone pushed Heavenly. I don't believe that. Now, was she a little aggressive in her removing Heavenly's hand around her because they were trying to take a picture? Yes. I do think Simone was a little bit more aggressive, and that's because she probably was mad in the moment. Fine. I'm one of those people too. If I'm mad, don't touch me. That's how I am too. So I can understand Simone in that instance. But I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit up there and say that either one of them were clear on the perception of what happened, because they both have very intricate details that are missing that we all saw as people. Sorry, not sorry. I'm saying it. They both are wrong. They both are wrong. And this
Y'all
is what
start stuff with people at an event. That's where Simone should have learned.
Yes.
Also, if you are upset, you don't need to put your hands on somebody. You could have walked away instead of pulling her hand up off of you, or used your words. I can't believe I have to say that to a doctor. You could have used your words. And then Heavenly, I do think Heavenly knows what buttons to push with Simone. And I do think that Heavenly knows that going over and and putting her hands and arms on Simone, Heavenly knew that would irritate Simone, and they complained after doing something she knew would irritate her about her reaction. They are literally both equally wrong. They are both aggressive. They both are unhinged, and they are both what they accuse each other of being. Both of their husbands is a disaster. You got one of them who could give a fuck about anything, swears he has a portfolio, but the son's is using her credit card. If you got such a big portfolio, Cecil, as you've been arguing everybody down online, then why don't you say to your son, take my card, not your mama's? But you're not doing that with your broke ass, as quiet as it's kept. And then Damon, I mean, the fact that your son could go to jail, and first you told us you didn't say nothing to your wife about it for a long time. She found out through the tabloids, even though you was sleeping next to her. And then there's all sorts of weird rumors and stuff around about them. So they like to attack each other, but they, no shade, they both got husbands that ain't shit. It's just Heavenly gonna hide it from us and be the true united front. They both do too much. They both unhinged. So it's funny that Simone and Toya and Heavenly be trying to battle against each other. They are literally all one and the same.
Yes. JB says the shoe fits, but Heavenly made up to get your hands off me, and she pushed her. Now, here's the thing. As I said, and that's why I agree with Jackie, I think they both have the wrong perception, because Heavenly said in the moment, you don't have to push me. That's what she said in the moment. If y'all go back and watch that scene, Heavenly said, and Contessa is arm in arm with, like, linked up and hugged up. She said, you ain't got to push me. And Contessa walked up to Simone and said, hey, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Go back and watch that scene, and y'all will see exactly what I'm saying.
I'm telling y'all, there's something called confirmation bias, and a lot of us can be guilty of it unintentionally. It's something your brain does naturally. But when people feel a way about Heavenly and then they hear this, they look for shit to confirm what they're saying. And when looking for stuff to confirm what you already feel about somebody, you may miss other stuff, because Heavenly very much did tell her in the moment, do not push me. And if you push someone's hand off of someone, which Simone did, that does count as pushing her. But they both, Heavenly,
yeah, but I say it's a wrong percent. Like I said, I agree with Dr. Jackie. They both misinterpreted each other. Now, it didn't look like a push to us, and it probably wasn't. But in the moment, Heavenly did say, hey, you don't have to push me. Like, no, you don't have to do that.
I did. Lexi Leeds' comment brings up another good point. She says Simone wasn't trying to fight, but is loud and unhinged. It's kind of like when you grow up in certain areas, if you don't want to fight, shut the fuck up. It's very simple. It's very, very simple. If you don't want to fight, then make sure that your actions, your body language, and your intentions don't give off that you want to fight. Because Simone, you know, in real life, if you wasn't no doctor, boo, and even as a doctor in the streets, if you do what you did to Heavenly to a patient or something, that would be a problem. They'd be wanting to fight you. If you do that in your regular life to Tammy, you will be wanting to fight. So they just both equally wrong, in my opinion. It's crazy the audience want to take sides, and it's like, these three are the same, y'all. They all the same.
And then this is my favorite part. So Jackie walks over to Simone, and because Jackie said, listen, I'm trying to be a good friend to both of them. And Simone said, Jackie, that's not the issue. The issue is I need you to be on the side of right. When Andy asked you, he said, did I push Heavenly, or is Heavenly making this up? And you said, what, Jackie? Jackie looked at her. She said, I didn't want to be in the middle of it. And she said, exactly. If you going to stand for me, Jackie, I need you to stand for me. And
it's
be right for
Simone
me.
saying to Jackie, if I say that this happened, don't question it. It happened. You need to be on my side, regardless of what you know, because you known me longer. That's all Simone was trying to say. She's manipulative, and that's why her weave was separating.
Y'all, if y'all didn't see that as manipulation, I don't know what to tell y'all. Because yes, once again, we can go heads or tails about whether or not it was a push or not. But the fact of the matter is, if I'm saying I want to be neutral because I care about you both, it is not up to you to say, if you ride for me, you're going to say I'm right and she is wrong. No, if I don't see it that way, I don't see it that way. You can't force me to do something that I don't want to do. I don't care if I've only known you 30 years, I've only known her for 10. It does not matter. Because when you weren't there, Heavenly was there. So I don't want to hear that,
If I was Jackie, I would ask Simone, well, why is it that you always have a problem with someone every season? And it's always, I have to be on your side. I need to stand for you, or the other person's the problem. Simone has a problem with somebody every season.
Yep.
If it's not Heavenly, it's Jackie. If it's not Jackie, it's Toya. Earlier seasons, if it's not Toya, she's keeping this ongoing beef with Quad. And don't nobody even be bothering her. But Simone, every season has a problem with somebody, which tells me that she is part of the problem. And I wish that Jackie would say that to her.
Nothing like I may drag some more than others, but I do like them all minus Mimi because I see through her. We all see through Mimi, but I feel like she's definitely
Psychiatrists
somebody.
are pretentious. They have
Yes.
egos, in my opinion. I work in mental health. Psychiatrists have egos worse than doctors. I have not met a healing psychiatrist yet, aside from Dr. Ish Major.
At least Colin said so. Simone ride with Toya, leave Jackie alone. That's how I feel. That's how
Yeah,
I feel. That's how I feel.
actually,
I
that's
feel
a
like
good point because Toya be saying a lot about Jackie's husband, and she will not let the rumors and the allegations and stuff that came out about Curtis die. Simone never fucking stands up for Jackie when it comes to that, but wants Jackie to stand up for her when Heavenly makes a true comment. Like, huh?
yeah.
Lord.
So yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about because this was so interesting to me. This is the last thing we'll talk about. Then I'm gonna end the live. Is that Andy asked the ladies who would vote for Heavenly, and the actual ladies that raised their hands, some I wasn't surprised with, but some of the comments that I was reading, y'all were surprised by this, and I wasn't. So the people who raised their hands were Quad, Jackie, Mimi, Angel, and Contessa. Now, on the videos that are leaking, where like No Chaser and all of them are putting them up, everyone's like, I'm surprised Contessa raised her hand. Why are y'all surprised by that? I want to ask everybody, why are y'all surprised Contessa raised her hand? Because it was like literally going down the comments. Why is Contessa raising her hand? Didn't Heavenly say fuck her mama?
Because the audience is no shade to the audience, y'all, and no shade to other content creators. The audience, like watching from the outside looking in, it looked like people get too attached to some of the people on these fucking shows, and then they be too excited for any person who's had a beef with Heavenly, and then they want that person to stay in a beef with Heavenly. Contessa's not in a beef with Heavenly no more, and hasn't been for some time, and niggas is questioning why she says she will vote for her. But you ever think that a mature person could say, separate from my issues with this person, they might actually be good at their job and have professionalism? She probably knows Heavenly off of the show. I think a lot of what Heavenly does, I would say at least 65 to 75% of it is for the show. I don't think that she behaved the way that she behaves on this show off of the show. And I think that shows in just how calm she's been in this reunion when normally she would go off or we would have heard 4 Yo Mamas by then. I feel like Heavenly's able to turn it on and turn it off. And that's dangerous, but dangerous makes good for politics. So
yes,
Brandy trying to act like she's holier than thou. I'm not voting for her. You have to do more to own my vote. Well, bitch, do you live in her district? What does she have to do to earn your vote? Who did you vote for in the past since you so into politics? And then Toya looked like she can't even spell politics. So I'm not even going to get into her vote or any of that because Eugene contributes tax dollars, not her.
I just want people to remember before Contessa and Heavenly fell out, they were the closest out of her, Heavenly, anybody, even Jackie. Contessa and Heavenly were literally Thelma and Louise. They used to read people together on this show. They used to show up. And even today, when it comes to Heavenly doing her speeches, look who in the front row. Contessa is sitting right there. So y'all need to let that shit go. Because it was like, the hell? They used to be the best of friends. Like, and they're trying to probably get away back to that. So I was like, y'all are weird. Contessa was close to Heavenly in the past. Heavenly is TV. Brandy didn't bring anything to the show.
Thank you,
I don't think she
Alyssa
did either.
Collins. She didn't bring anything. That's why she tried to pick that weird beef with Contessa after saying they made peace. But it looked like she just did that because she wanted to have something for the camera. Because I don't think we'll ever see her husband film like that. I don't feel like she'll ever give much. I feel like she'll always just go along with whatever the majority wants or whatever the audience. I just don't see Brandy. She's a nurse practitioner. Let her go make people beautiful, and she can, her and her 4 kids, they can go away.
Yes. That's how I feel as well. I'm not really here for Brandy either. She was weird, and this whole first reunion made me really look at her, especially mentioning kids like that. I didn't like that she did it either. I'm glad that you pointed that out. But that was the reunion, y'all. That was part one. This was a very interesting reunion. Watching some of the reviews, like my core people who recap the show, we all on the same page. But them other ones out there, I love everybody who reviews the show. But it's interesting to see some of the confirmation biases that y'all have, especially towards Heavenly, that y'all don't have with Simone. I think it's weird. They both are wrong, and we can
It
all
was
agree to
funny as
disagree.
if Heavenly leaves the show, the same way everyone feels about her, they're gonna feel about Simone or Toya or both.
Yep, exactly. I hope Heavenly leaves. I hope this is
Me
Heavenly's
too.
last season. I want to see what happens to the show because let's keep in mind, Heavenly is a friend of, but sitting with the main cast members and is there the entire time. Brandy and Angel aren't.
That's true.
So y'all
A
should
friend
y'all
of
should
should never have that much weight. That means the people who are actual full-time cast members are not bringing anything
Yep,
worthwhile. Because
exactly.
it's just the fact she does make the
She does
show,
make the
and
show.
the
Yup.
more people that dislike her and express it, the more Bravo's gonna pay her what she wants to keep her.
Yep.
It's
And I can guarantee you, Bravo is hoping by the slew of chance that Heavenly does not win so that she can come back.
Yep, and
Because
if she
losing,
does win, I feel like Bravo will find a way to like document her journey to Congress or something. Like they're not just gonna let go of Heavenly.
Shani said, Heavenly, you knew Simone was not rocking with you when you put your arm around her to try to take that picture. But also, my opinion, I don't have to be polite to tell you, don't touch me. No, you
That's
don't have to be polite to tell someone not to touch you. But at the same time, when you put your hands on them, you're giving them a perception about you, like Heavenly did Simone. Heavenly said in the moment, do not push me, even though Simone said, I did not push you. You see how that perception can come in? And then she gets angry because this narrative is sticking. It's not just going
why next
away.
time, Simone, when you go to an event, don't listen to Toya's dumbass to try and be messy and confront Heavenly about politics. Wait till another time. Because if
Yep,
y'all would have left her alone, then none of that would have happened. But they don't want to
exactly.
be accountable for that part.
Exactly. Exactly. There's ways you can do that. Shani, there's ways that you could tell somebody, hey, you could easily scoot back and be like, hey, no, 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 don't touch me. Back up. Like, there's
Toya and
ways you could do
Simone,
it.
though, the stove was hot. They went and they touched the stove. They got burned, and now they're upset.
Yeah.
The fuck you want us to do?
I
It
just
was
feel like
hot.
Simone did this to herself. She just did.
Yeah,
I'm
she
sorry.
did.
She did it to herself. Like, y'all can act like it's heavenly all y'all want to. Fine. Fine. But at the end of the day, Heavenly wouldn't have this if Simone didn't participate.
That's the truth.
I'm just saying, like, y'all can't. And as I said, Simone started with Heavenly first. I love how we start here and not the beginning when Heavenly walked in and they wanted to be messy and tell about her campaign trails and everything as if they were supporting her. They were being messy. I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry. I'm not. They both are wrong. Both Heavenly and Simone are wrong. And the more y'all try to put this on Heavenly, the more it looks crazy because if y'all watch the footage, it's all there. So yeah, that's probably something I would have just stepped back and don't be freaking. No, I would have been like, hey, what you doing? Like I would have did the knee. Y'all remember when Kenya tried to hug Nene? Nene said, what you doing? What you doing? Like did the stiff back? Yeah, I would have did that.
That's a good example. That's more proof that Simone is unhinged and handled that wrong.
Mm-hmm.
This girl, she didn't even have a reason to be that damn mad. We
Yep.
being honest.
But that's it, y'all. I got to get to work. So I want to thank everybody for being here. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody who participated in the live chat. I hope you guys are subscribed to me. I want to thank the replay game. We appreciate you. Hope you are subscribed to me as well. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you guys on my next live. I'm going to try to get House of Villains out to you guys very soon. Thank you guys once again, and you guys have a great one now. Bye-bye.